Shalom, call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bahashim Kadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them to tell us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful like tabernacle of David. I'm the elder Yashawan. Shalom and salutations to you all. Babylon is trapped. Who set the trap? The Most High. Jeremiah 50:24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. So, Babylon the Great is in the middle of a trap and don't even know it. Thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against the Lord. In the NIV, I set a trap for you. Who did that? The Most High did. I set a trap. How? Well, he got everybody else together and said, you're going to go against Babylon. So the Most High set the trap. Set a trap for you, Babylon, and you were caught before you knew it. You were found. You were found, Esau. Right? So anyone finding me, right, shall put me to death. Oh, you were found and captured. See, you're captured, not Maduro. You are. Most High set a trap and captured you because you oppose the Lord. Now, we could go forward after that. Let's look at this first, okay? Now, this is ongoing right now. This is live. So I'm kind of just trying to find it and do it live, and it's harder. So anyway, it's queued up. But let's listen to a little bit of Pepe. And he's going to go into the trap that was set, okay? He's going to say, Trump and them got trapped. They set a trap for this. The Most High is the one that set it. And who did he stir up? He stirred up the Medes and all that were assembled unto them. So let's watch this.
Including the UN Security Council, that this was basically a kidnapping executed by a bunch of mini gangsters. How they're going to react is in the long term. And it's very, very interesting, Danny, because some of us started discussing another alternative scenario yesterday. And of course, we are all free to discuss alternative scenarios because nobody knows exactly what happened.
Except for the men of the Lord. Now, I said this in previous lessons that this was a trap. It's an obvious trap. They sat there and they had all kind of weapons and men in place. So they just like Venezuela stood down, China stood down, North Korea stood down because they have everybody's in place. All right. So everybody stood down and let this happen, meaning everybody knew about it. Not a shot was fired. So how can China and Russia come to Venezuela's rescue when they, right, made a deal? Right? Everybody had to stand down because a deal was made. All right? So what happens next is where this is. It was a trap. Okay?
What if Russia and China induced Trump into this particular trap? That's quite possible. They let it happen. They don't forget, first of all, Russia and China think geopolitics several chessboard moves ahead. And
ahead of a couple of knuckle dragging idiots like Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, right? This guy, Stephen Miller, these clowns. Here it is. You got real presidential heads of state, real military, KGB, fighting in the middle of a war, fighting, not draft dodgers. Look at under Trump. Draft dodgers under Trump. Trump's the leader of a bunch of, and Hegseth is in the military. That is a joke. Okay? That whole thing is a joke. If you're gonna try to throw Hex up and say he's in the military, what is he in the National Guard? That's a joke.
They work in close cooperation. So when they looked at Venezuela, where they both have energy interests, weapons transfers interests,
Speaking of China and Russia,
economic interests, geopolitical projection interests, and they all converge, coalesce, they run in parallel, etc. But they are not contradictory. They could have devised, okay, let's attract this absolutely volatile character into a trap.
woo! The Most High set up that trap. I think I'm gonna go back and get all the times I said this is an obvious trap, and this dude just walks straight into
with a megalomaniac narcissist. It's very, very easy. The last thing a megalomaniac narcissist wants is to lose face and to be ridiculed by everyone. He's already being ridiculed all over the global south. He's already being ridiculed all over Latin America. Soon inside the United States, right?
Inside the United States, how? I will laugh at your calamity, saith who? The Lord. How is he laughing? Ah, ha, ha, ha. It was an obvious trap. The men of the Lord have been laughing. We're watching this whole thing play out. It's an obvious trap. We knew a trap was coming. How do we know? I have set a trap for thee. I set a trap for you. That's Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay? You are caught before you even knew it. This nigga don't even know yet. You understand? What did I see? I saw something. It was the elder apostle Tahar. He went to I'll probably do Lord willing, I'll do a lesson on it. But he went to a chat and he asked chat, and chat was like, what happens next from the perspective of GMS? He said, well, what happens next according to GMS? You can ask chat where we are on the timeline according to GMS, and chat will tell you where we're at according to GMS at this time. What is that? That's the Urim and the Thummim, number one. That's a crystal ball. Don't you know that Esau is doing it? Esau's like this, chat, AI, according to GMS, where are we? How much time do we have left? You think they're not doing that? That's a crystal ball. I looked at that, I'm like, look at this. Anybody right now, if you want to know what the fuck is going on, go to ChatGPT and ask chat, what does GMS say about what is the mark of the beast? How much? What do the signs say about how much time is left? See, just like the elder apostle Tahar said, you gotta force chat or AI. You gotta force it to tell you what you want to hear. Because if you don't, it'll get around the gist of what you're asking. You have to be very specific and make it answer your question specifically. And that can be done, right? And then you'll get your answer. But the point being, right, they're doing it. You think they're not using that? With all the information about GMS that has been entered into AI and chat, that thing can tell you, right, what it is that we're thinking, what we believe. So all you got to do is ask it. That's just like going, like when we're teaching, we say, go watch the videos. Go watch it. You don't have to watch the videos no more. You can go to chat, who has watched all the videos for you, and ask chat directly. That's where we're at in this truth. I remember seeing the elder Ariella, who was the brother Ariella at the time, had to be 2011, 2010, 2011. And I saw the brother Ariella in Texas. And he had an iPhone in his hand. And that was neat. This is the first time I've seen somebody at camp with an iPhone. And he was doing things, right, that hadn't been done yet. Okay? Right? Way before any chat. See, so that was going, see, niggas can't remember back that far because they were kids. All right? But I clearly remember going from flip phone to smartphone. Okay? Took a minute for that to happen. So that's a lot of computing power, and that's a lot of ability. So right now they're going from the phone and what the phone used to be to suddenly AI and chat, which is a different level of computing. It's a different level of power in your hand, if you will. Okay. So now what are you? We're this much closer to a crystal ball, the Urim and the Thummim. You understand what's being said here? Anyway, Salakia about that detour, but that's a lesson that has to be made about how, and I saw it clearly in the lesson that the elder apostle. I don't know if anybody caught that or if that's a thing now, but chat can be used as a crystal ball. Just ask, what does GMS say about this? What does GMS say about that? How much time does GMS say we have left? So you could get straight to the truth. If you understand, which the devil understands, that the elder apostle Tahar is the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, just like Moses was once upon a time. If you understand that and get straight to it and extrapolate, you think this devil don't know that? He knows that. So he's like this. Everything that the elder apostle, you think they don't have, on everything that comes out of his mouth, you think that they don't have that, on some sort of its own fucking computer that minces every word that comes out of his mouth. And then feeds it, okay, what's going to happen next? You think that they're not doing that or don't have that ability? Of course they do. Of course they do. Okay, anyway. This is the Most High's plan. Listen, Babylon, for I have set a trap for you. You are caught, for you have fought against the Lord. I set a snare, and you were taken, Obed, and you didn't know it. That's crazy. And we're seeing it. They're talking about this trap right here. They're talking about it. Okay?
Yes. So this is already happening. So, our scenario gets more and more plausible when we look of how, without doing absolutely anything, Russia and China may have prompted the President of the United States to commit a tremendous geopolitical mistake.
In front of everybody. What is it like? The rest of the world is looking at this nigga just went and kidnapped like Jesse J. Al Capone. Like the Wild West. And like this is a fucking movie. Guns a-blazing. First of all, you didn't even do shit. You staged the whole thing. Okay? There's no such thing as an attack Chinook or a shithut. An attack shithut. There's no such thing, but shithooks were taken out S-4 defense systems, S-400s. Explain that. Okay, the whole thing was staged, all right? If you understand that.
So we have to keep this in mind all the time. I was particularly struck by the relatively mild responses by both Moscow and Beijing. They were pro forma. There was nothing like, wow, oh, horror. No, no, they were very cool, calm.
Gotcha. We got this fool. How are we going to present the charges? They were waiting to present the charges the next day. You kidnapped somebody, and you have 72 hours to respond to this.
Calculators, okay, this is horrible, etc. We're going to fight against it. He has to return Maduro to Venezuela, etc. But that was it. So I love the idea that there's much more to it than just, he was powerful enough to send a message to Russia and China. Russia and China looked at it and said, oh, we're going to have to abandon all our deals in Venezuela and the Caribbean because otherwise, Neo Caligula is going to be very mad at us. It doesn't work like this.
Neo Caligula. Did you catch that? Neo Caligula. Nero.
Right. It's all over the mainstream media, though. There's that narrative that's being promoted, and then there's the other narrative of, oh, well, this is going to embolden, because there's some panic, I think, in CIA circles. Oh, this is going to embolden Russia and China to, harbin their spheres of influence, right? Their so-called spheres of influence. This is the lens that they're looking at out of it as either what you're saying or that.
And then all this stupidity going around the net that Russia and China didn't do anything to save Venezuela. It doesn't. Hardcore geopolitics at the highest power politics level doesn't work like this.
Yeah.
When something like this happens, mega players, especially working together with Russia and China, they knew that this was one of the possible scenarios. And that brings us back to that, for the moment, hypothetical scenario. Okay, let it happen. Let's see how he deals with it if it happens. Because it's obviously a trap.
It's obviously a trap. Now, nigga, you bought that item, Sloppy. If they put troops on the ground, which they can't afford, right? Who is that going to benefit? It's going to benefit Russia and China, who are at war with the United States. Okay? You think that that's Ukraine over there fighting? No, that's the United States. What they're doing is they're spreading them thin. They just opened up another front in World War III. Okay? They're getting stretched. How did ancient Rome, right, be defeated? How were they defeated? They got stretched thin. This is old Sun Tzu shit right here.
He's in the middle of a gigantic trap, and he won't be able to sell this as a victory starting in the next few days, in fact. Well, first of all,
and this is what I said. As soon as they went in and they did that, I said, the truth is going to come out in about 5 days about what really happened. Them niggas hit the ground. We did some John Wayne shit, and you got that. Whatever comes out of their mouth, that's their story. That's what they want you to believe right away. What happened, and I said this too, and I'm Salakian for setting it up that way, but it's just the truth. When they went and supposedly destroyed the nuclear program in Iran and obliterated were the words that were being, we went and it was perfect and everything was perfect and nothing went wrong and it was all perfect. And then what the truth about it, when the truth came out, it was anything but perfect. So this is a pattern. They did exactly the same thing. We went in and everything was perfect. Nobody died. It was probably like, nobody died. Wait a minute. And you got a wife and you're going to wait a minute. This don't sound let's wait a couple of days. Right? And let's let logic set in. Right? And then we'll find out what really happened. Then they get this guy in open court in New York and say, well, there's no such organization as whatever you're charging this guy with, so that's bullshit, right? The whole thing is, but you didn't think this thing out too clearly, did you? Look like you done wound up where you're waking up, finding out that you're in a trap right now. You're caught in a trap. You can't walk out. And here come Yahushua to show that love. Okay. Let's listen to a bit more of this.
Oh, can you imagine the Department of Justice goes on the record saying, look, the Cartel de los Soles never existed.
Right. See that? They didn't think it out. See, Esau used to be able to get away, but the Gulf of Tonkin, well, what about USS Liberty? Who was the one that the small hats went and fired on to create a war and that whole thing? See, all of those little situations of being able to manipulate and lie and use the media, right, to further your witchcraft, that whole thing, it's not working. Okay, it's not working.
That's the whole case. I mean, Maduro, you saw him in court. He said this, or we didn't get to see it, but we heard all of the reports. He said, I just got the indictment now. I want to read it in my own time. But that whole indictment, which is ridiculous on its face already, it's now out of the window. And now they're saying cocaine. You know.
If you didn't understand that, the whole, what they said they were taking him to court for was that he was part of an organization called the Cartel of the Sun or whatever, right? When that was a CIA front, right? Which is why they tried to use that. They were involved in it and they manipulate the findings or whatever. Listen to
Because never existed.
So look, I gotta go back to the one. Listen how he set it up.
Mega players, especially working together with Russia and China, they knew that this was one of the possible scenarios. And that brings us back to that, for the moment, hypothetical scenario. Okay, let it happen. Let's see how he deals with it if it happens. Because it's obviously a trap. Trump now is in the middle of a gigantic trap, and he won't be able to sell this as a victory starting in the next few days, in fact. Well, first of all, can you imagine the Department of Justice goes on the record saying, look, the Cartel de los Soles never existed.
Never exists. That's the whole case. I mean, Maduro, you saw him in court. He said this, or we didn't get to see it, but we heard all of the reports. He said, I just got the indictment now. I want to read it in my own time. But that whole indictment, which is ridiculous on its face already, it's now out of the window. And now they're saying cocaine, you know.
Possession of weapons, cocaine, whatever. So it's already, it's in farce territory already. Well, the oil angle, very, very important.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because this is kind of lengthy. Might still be going on, but the point I wanted to get to was the trap. The trap. Listen to Pepe. He keeps saying it was a trap, it's an obvious trap, and they trapped him, and the trap. And I said a trap. Trap, snare, trap. And you were caught, right? Babylonia challenged me. But that nation doesn't know it is caught in a trap that I set. Okay? Yeah, they're caught in a trap. Okay, so where was I? Did I finish this?
This as a victory, starting in the next few days. Well, first of all, can you imagine the Department of Justice goes on the record saying, look, the Cartel de los Soles never existed.
Never exists. That's the whole case. I mean, Maduro, you saw him in court. He said this, or
Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in thee. NIV, all your allies will force you. All your allies, Trump and Vlad Putin used to be homies. Okay? Xi, all of them used to be homies. They done did deals. Right? All your allies will force you to the border. Your friends will deceive you. They used to be friends. Right? Bromance. Your friends will deceive and overpower you. Those who eat your bread will set a trap for you, but you will not detect it. All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. Okay? And this is about Esau, but right now this is the home of Esau and the eagle. Esau eagles. Okay? That trap, those that eat your bread will set a trap for you without your awareness. Traps. 3 terrible traps. 3 terrible traps. Right? The cat burglar. Let's see. Set a trap. Set a trap. Laid a wound. That's set a trap. They shall lay a trap. Set an ambush. Look at that. That's what they walked right into an ambush. Oh, we're going to go take Venezuela. Really? Is that what you're going to do? Well, go. We're going to let you do it. See, all of this without firing a shot because everybody's there. China's there with weapons. North Korea's there with weapons. They were obviously told to stand down. I was waiting for it to happen. And then they just waltz in there with C-130 gunships humming and bumming, not getting shot down by a motherfucking RPG-7 by a 7-year-old with an RPG and 2 fucking AKs, AKMS strapped on him. He could have brought the helicopter down his damn self. You understand? Contemporary English. Obadiah 1 and 7. Your allies can't be trusted. They will force you out of your own country, and your best friends will trick and trap you even before you know it. So we're watching a trap be set, right? They're the ones talking about it and laughing.
I love the idea that there's much more to it than just, he was powerful enough to send a message to Russia and China. Russia and China looked at it and said, "Oh, we're gonna have to abandon all our deals in Venezuela and the Caribbean because otherwise, Neo Caligula is going to be very mad at us." It doesn't work like this.
Right. It's all over the mainstream media, though. There's that narrative that's being promoted, and then there's the other narrative of, oh, well, this is going to embolden, because there's some panic, I think, in CIA circles. Oh, this is going to embolden Russia and China.
This is what he called him. Okay, so they're 2 different. Okay, so this is 2 different things. Neo, did he say Neo Caligula or did he say Nero? See, this is saying that they're 2 different. Okay. have to find out more on that. Anyway, Neo. Looks like they're two different. We're two. Caligula and Nero were two. Not the same. Okay, so anyway, with that, I pray that that the elect are edified, and yeah, we'll see what happens next with this hot potato called Venezuela. What they're gonna do with it in the next 72 hours. Let's see. Trump given 72 hours to comply. Let's see what this brings up. Trump given 72 hours to act or go to jail. Financial record. What? What has that got to do with secret battle? That's 6 days ago. Okay, so what is this? Does this have to do with the kidnapping? Okay, bear with me. Let's see what happens here. This is crazy. Boy, the commercials now. I fucked my husband. Da, 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 da.
Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller. Larry Bushard has been in jail since September 21st. His bond is $2 million. The Perry County Sheriff's Office claimed he threatened mass violence at a school. News 2's Kel Smith reporting.
This is 38 days ago. Lexington police are about to arrest Larry Bushard. His supporters say he is a retired law enforcement officer. He is also critical of the Trump administration. Just on the day of his arrest, he posted dozens of memes to Facebook. They seem to know why he's getting arrested. A few hours earlier, Larry said Lexington police visited him regarding a Facebook post.
Just call me, I'll have my phone, okay? I love you. Thank y'all. And he thinks that it's just, freedom of speech,
Okay, so this is the moment everything has been building toward, and we need to talk about it right now because Judge Emmett Sullivan just gave Trump a 72-hour ultimatum to surrender all classified Venezuela strike evidence or face immediate arrest for obstruction on top of war crimes charges. This happened at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on January 3rd, 2026, when Sullivan amended his temporary restraining order with the most explosive language any federal judge has ever used against a sitting president. Judge Sullivan said, and I quote, "Produce evidence or appear in irons 72 hours from now. Appear in irons." That's a federal judge telling the President of the United States that he will be arrested and brought to court in handcuffs if he doesn't comply with the order by noon on January 6th. Come on, this is absolutely unprecedented in American history. No judge has ever threatened a sitting president with arrest in irons. No president has ever faced a 72-hour deadline to produce evidence or be taken into custody. We are in completely uncharted constitutional territory, and Trump is cornered with no way out. But before we go any further, real quick, let's be honest, you can't really trust mainstream media anymore. That's why we built Pump Politics, to bring you real stories, real context, and no corporate spin. If you want to...
School in Iowa in 2024, a 17-year-old boy killed 2 people.
What is this?
Federal court
That's
order.
to throw you off.
The date that represents Trump's greatest assault on democracy is now the date that may mark the end of his presidency. Sullivan chose this deadline deliberately. The message is unmistakable. Trump's defiance of constitutional order that began on January 6, 2021, will end on January 6, 2026, one way or another. The evidence Sullivan is demanding includes all Maduro raid flight logs, all drone footage from the Venezuela operations, and all Office of Legal Counsel memos authorizing the strikes. This is the complete documentary record of Trump's war crimes. Sullivan wants the flight logs showing exactly what military assets were deployed and where. Sullivan wants the drone footage showing exactly what happened during the strikes, including footage that reportedly shows 12 Venezuelan children being executed after their boat was sunk. Sullivan wants the OLC memos that Trump signed authorizing lethal force without congressional approval. All of it. Everything. And Trump has 72 hours to produce it or he will be arrested. Sullivan's order specifically references the DOJ's shredding of evidence, drawing direct parallels to the Epstein file purge that has been part of the cover-up from the beginning. Sullivan cited the destruction of 2025 boat strike videos that showed civilian executions, evidence that was deliberately destroyed to hide the scope of Trump's war crimes. Sullivan also referenced the shredded File 468 from the Epstein library, the file that contained the Trump-Epstein photo, and that Melania.
Okay, fuck, you're into some other shit right now. So, what's real and what is not? You get into this Epstein shit. What about what's going on right now? So, what we gotta do is we have to chill. We have to wait and see what the Most High is gonna do, all right? Because, again, I mean, this could all be, you know, let's go here real quick. This could all be some fucking bullshit. When you get right down to it, let's see. Let's go here. And then my close. So lock it for just going on. This is 5. Okay, so let's go out like this right here. Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter of small. So we'll keep our eye on it, because it's clearly a trap. But what are they gonna do with it? Are they gonna, you know? We got to see what's happening in this courtroom with this 72-hour thing. What are they gonna do with this guy? Is he in a trap? Is he, you know? Is the international court, which hasn't done a damn thing, gonna suddenly act? What am I? Second court 2 and 2. So 2 court 2 and 11 in the Kangs and 11. All right, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we'll sit back and we'll watch. All right. And continue to monitor the situation. So, I mean, anything could happen. With that, we hope that the elect are edified. You, brother and sister, shalom.